If you are in a 9 to 5 job and you have a passion for maybe a side business or something you'd like to try, don't be afraid to start and to go for it. And you never know where it can lead.
This podcast encourages and empowers you to create your own unique real story, develop your own unique real statement, and discover your own unique real self. The power is yours. Good night, Janet MacQuarrie. Previously, episode 259 of the 12-Minute Convos podcast. It's been just 2 years, 8 months, 29 days, 10 hours, and 45 minutes since we last spoke.
Pick one or two healthy habits to work on and focus on that. You'll be amazed where that can take you a year from now. So step by step, small changes can make a huge difference over time.
That was then. This is now. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
Well, I am doing well. I have put some good habits into place. One of them is conversations, and it has brought you full circle again to having a conversation with me. Habit being the key word.
Absolutely.
Let's dig into what you do around habits.
Yes. So I help people with the 5 a.m. wake up habit. That is kind of my favorite habit to help people with because it was such a game changer for me. It would be, I guess, about 6 years ago now when I started the habit of getting up at 5 a.m. to basically work on myself and, give myself that time to do some key activities that I was trying to do evenings and weekends, and I was failing. I was too tired and didn't have the energy later on in the day. So those things for me were exercising daily. And at the time, it was actually to learn how to play guitar. I wanted to practice guitar. And I also wanted to work on personal development. So these are things that I was craving. I didn't know where I was going to find the time to do them. So I was inspired by Robin Sharma, who had talked about the 5 a.m. club. And I decided to try it as well. And it became a habit that was really transformative for me. So I decided that when I opened up my coaching business, that's the niche I wanted to focus on to help others to create that habit so that they could experience the same joy and success that I did.
Now, have you found that other family units have the challenge as well, or is it more like an 80-20 ratio, or is there even a ratio from those that have a family to those that are single and want to do something like the 5 a.m. morning?
It's interesting. I actually haven't really thought about that before. I would say it's a mix. One example I can give you is a client I had, and she started the 5 a.m. habit on her own. But as she was talking to her husband about it, he ended up joining in and he started getting up at 5 a.m. with her, and it became a habit. They actually formed together and they would go outside and walk in the morning together. So it actually helped to strengthen the relationship. But I guess it's a variety of both. To be honest,
Okay.
I've had clients that are single that have wanted to adopt the habit, and I've had lots of clients with families that want to adopt this habit.
Well, you do have children, yeah, as well.
Yes, I do. 2 kids.
Yeah, and that was part of the motivation, right? To get up early, I would imagine.
Yes, and actually, yeah, now that I think about it, a lot of the people that are motivated to want to pick up the 5 a.m. habit do have children because it's hard to find that quiet time during the rest of the day because obviously your priority is your children and they are sleeping often at 5 a.m. So you're able to have that time to yourself to work on yourself and your biggest priorities.
Yeah, and I think it's really cool as well that like one of the things I've realized is that it helps you jumpstart your morning. You think that if you get up that early, you'll be tired, but I'm seeing as well one of the things that is pretty much a thing that happens around your circle is exercise, right? Like people
Yes.
get up and exercise, and that really helps. Is that accurate?
Absolutely. That was, I think, the key activity that's been part of my morning routine that has always stayed a constant is 20 minutes of exercise. It doesn't have to be an hour long session at the gym. It can if you want, but for me, just 20 minutes because it really improves your energy levels, it improves your mood. Of course, it's good for your health physically, and you'll notice some positive physical changes if you haven't previously exercised on a regular basis. But what I was surprised by is how much it helped me mentally and emotionally. It grew my confidence. So, yeah, it's extremely powerful to, not only develop the habit of getting up at 5 a.m., but the habit of exercising daily.
Jen, I would like to know, given the fact that you have children and you're helping so many other individuals, if you've had the conversation that I think is a very important conversation with death.
Oh, that is an interesting question. The way I view death is it's sometimes nice to actually remind yourself that, there is an expiry date here on earth, and you really need to focus on, listening to your heart, listening to what you're feeling pulled towards, and actually following that, because the truth is, we don't know when our last day is going to be. So, when you respect life in that manner and realize how short it can be, I think it's a good motivator to, live the life you actually want to live while you're here and can do so.
Love that. Love that. So, your mother and father had a great impact in your life. Your mother being the social worker, your father being the teacher. How have you seen that impact how you help others?
Yes, it's true. They both were in the helping professions. And so I suppose I come by that naturally, wanting to teach and help other people. So, yeah, with my dad being a teacher, my mom being a social worker, being a coach is something that comes naturally to me. And ever since I was quite young, I always remember I loved listening to other people. People would come to me with their problems, and people seemed to inherently know they could trust me. So, yeah, I guess the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Well, there we go. Well, it's been what, like almost 4 years now? Like when we first spoke, you just got it started. Well, it had been like a year that you were coaching. When you look back from now to then, do you have any regrets with the decisions you've made to have you where you are today?
You know what? I don't have any regrets with the decisions I've made, because even the failures that I've had were important because you learn and grow from them. Like, I had started my coaching business on the side, and I had built up my coaching business to the point that I quit the position I was doing full time and I went into coaching full time. I did that for about 6 months. And I think it's because it was my first time owning my own business. And I felt a lot of pressure to suddenly be responsible for financially earning, the same income I previously had been earning in my corporate role. And I really didn't do as well as I had hoped. And after 6 months, I ended up going back and taking a 9 to 5 position, and it is something I'm still in now, and slowly growing my coaching business on the side. And so it is continuing to steadily grow every year. And what that taught me and what it's helping me to help others with, because now I not only help others with getting up at 5 a.m., I'm starting to help others to build their own side business and to show them that if you're not ready to quit your job full time and dive into your business, it's okay to start part time and gradually grow it. And then when you get to the point where the systems are in place and you feel confident, you're ready to dive in full time, then you can go for it. But yeah, I've learned a lot from the challenges and failures that I have had.
That's great. I'm glad that you shared that. It's truth. Many people want to do the passion and they jump too quickly, I think. I think
Hmm.
doing the side hustle gives you the transition into moving full time. And if not, then you can still choose, right? There's a choice if you want to or if you do not want to. For those that are listening, where's the best place for them to connect with you, Jen?
The best place would be on my website, brighthabits.ca, or they can go to Facebook and just search Jen MacQuarrie, MacQuarrie, or join my 5 a.m. wake up challenge, which is in Facebook. You can just type in your 5 a.m. wake up challenge.
That's great. What part of Canada are you from?
New Brunswick.
Wow, all the way. So, do you know MacQuarrie? Yeah, you must know
Yes,
Mark.
yes,
Yeah.
he's in the same city as I am.
Oh, wonderful. I actually spoke with him today. What a coincidence. Or let's say synchronicity. Well, that's great. Wonderful. Well, it's a great pleasure, my friend, to have the opportunity to have this conversation with you where I connect and, just be the podcast accountability partner to say, Jen, are you doing what you said you were going to be doing? And it's great to see that you are following your own unique real strengths, and it is both motivating and inspiring to see the 5 a.m. Facebook group, to see that you are helping others wake and follow their dreams. So Jen, thank you for that. In closing, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
No, I would just say that if you are in a 9 to 5 job and you have a passion or you have an idea for maybe a side business or something you'd like to try, don't be afraid to start and to go for it. That's a perfect way to start if you already have that stability. You can find time in the early morning or on weekends when you can gradually start growing that business, and you never know where it can lead. So the nice thing about if you're in a position like that, you actually have a lot of freedom and flexibility where you can experiment and without too much risk.
Love it. I just realized like your name, the initials are like Joyful Morning if you wanted to put that in there as well, right? So yeah.
Oh, I love that. No one's ever said that before. That's perfect.
Well, there we go. Jen MacQuarrie and JM Joyful Mornings, helping others get up 5 a.m. and do what they love. Jen MacQuarrie, again, great pleasure. Thanks for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. This podcast is produced by Pod Edits. Visit podedits.com for professional podcast publishing.